Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to my channel, Joy to the World. And also I have another channel called Capricorn Connections, or at My Capricorn Connection, if you'd like to jump on there and check that thing out. Pretty amazing stuff. I am your reader, Melissa Joy. So I'm in a new scenery and a new location. Spirit provided an opportunity of faith for me to step forward into the adventure of trusting. And it's pretty interesting that there's some deep tones of that going on in here. More than just trust. Truly living it. And hopefully this wind is not getting you guys. I've done all I can to get a block out on this. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's getting really strong now. So anyways, pardon the hair, y'all. Wind's behind me. I have to have the one little piece of shade that's left out here because the day has moved on. But anyways, we have the bear spirit of healing coming in. So we have this healing message of moving out of the perpetual winter, out of the sleep and the slumber of, it's kind of like in a dream. We're not talking lucid dreaming. We're talking dreaming, that there isn't a power of decision that you have as someone who's being stuck in a role-playing situation, and being able to move out from that into the power of choice, getting in union with your divine self and your nature. And the underlying theme also is the blossoming abundance that accompanies that, the heaven on earth. Now, I don't know whatever these cards are called, but power, magic, something like that. They're talking about a new energy coming in and giving yourself leeway, licensure, permission, things like that, to be able to move in it. And it came out clumped together. They're like, these are inseparable. You have to take them like this. And lately I've been like, you asked me to take enough. All right. And I don't mean with the cards, I'm talking life itself. But anyways, we've got in magic, freedom, and flow, moonlight, enchantment, eagle spirit, and meandering pathway. And, you know, a path can be made straight before you, because if you're focused in the now and in the moment, and you're looking within the scope of your immediate presence, 6, 8, 10 feet, it is straight right in front of you. Now, if you took a bird's eye view and you look down, it might look all squiggly just like that, probably like these things going on around here. But there's some magic and some freedom in that. We have the ability to do both. Remember, she's over here. Our nature connected with our divine self, heaven on earth. So that's where everybody's talking about the splits occurring 5D and 3D. Has to the no. I'm not doing a minus sign on mine. I'm putting the plus up on it. And that's the choice here, is to bring them together. Okay, because heaven and earth landing and connecting, 5 plus 3 equals what? 8. And then when you divide that by 2, it is 4. So it's the 4D. Who talks about that? Oh, we do right here. And if you like that, click the subscribe, because I'm not going to continue to have these other things pulling me and separating me and making me choose. I have the power of choice right here. I am whole. I will not be separated from myself again. That is what has allowed the pain and suffering to come in and to perpetuate. I'm not playing the karma, dharma type game, all that stuff going on. They've been talking about delivering you from the dogma, from the legalism, and into the freedom, which is what? Wisdom. These are the undergirding things coming on in here. And then that's when you begin to merge with your true self and you become a force. But it's actually phos, P-H-O-S, but in the ancient language it's pronounced phos. And that's why we hear, may the phos be with you, and we think it's F-O-R-C-E. Well, phosphorescence is something that in the moment you move across it, it lights up and it ignites for you. That's why the path is lit up for you, because you're not jumping out ahead into, well, future is this way. You're not jumping out ahead into your future or leaning into your past trying to glean it. Hello? Leave your dinner plate out for 3 days and then go back and munch on it. Out, open, full temperature, exposed. It'll make you sick. So if you were sick and tired of your life, tired getting into the future, sick getting into the past, that's the interest and taxation. Those are those old systems. That is that legalism. That is that thing, is you pay before you play. And you know what? We paid before we ever got here. So somewhere we've been stuck in that dismal dream of it going round and round and round. The perpetual winter. Nothing wrong with winter. You get what I'm saying? But that's where there aren't any resources. And things are hard fought for and hard won. And then things have to slow down and internalize and draw within and shrink. That's not it anymore. We're in the full blaze of summer. And I don't just mean the calendar. I'm talking about life itself. And that's where we're at. So it's not about either or, it's about the and. The magical symbol right now is the ampersand. It's that little squiggly and symbol. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you get health and wealth. They're inseparable. Do you ever have a coin that's only stamped on one side? Or a piece of paper money that only has something on one side? It takes both sides for it to be legitimate. So we have the whole. It's not one or the other. It's and. Okay, and since you ain't playing a game and you're not in school getting tested, you don't have to fall for any of that or go for any of that. Capricornicus. Pardon the wind, y'all. I'm going to just try and block it for a minute. That gust is coming on out. So that's the flow that they're talking in, is giving the leeway for that, the space for that, the room for that to come on in, and allow the other thing almost to be like squeegeed off of the screen of your life. Powerful stuff going on right now. And then that is the magic, the liberation from the wound, the liberation from the woundedness. And not, people can put it off on you like you're all like, oh, why didn't you get over it? It's all like, no, there's this thing about our body. We weren't taught how to process forgiveness through our body, how to move it through our body. And I am learning that myself, okay? But as we're moving into this new pure perfection, it's where things begin to just, it's a whole system that occurs on its own. But we have to be delivered from the old conditional system, the cutoff, the disconnected, the separated system that says, oh, well, when you pay me, I'll help reunite you with yourself. Oh, when you can afford this therapy, then you will get healed and wholeness. Oh, when you can afford a lawyer from your son, he's going to get the justice he deserves. You see what I'm saying? She's Desiree on a magnanimous scale. But we are being delivered from the power of Saturn. If you love Saturn and you want to stay up in that ring around the bush and the karma and all that condition, it is limited. Even if it's good karma. You go around and it ends. You go around and it ends. You go around and it ends. We're stepping into the spirals of life here, friend. And we're being liberated into the power of the sun and Jupiter merging, which is limitless possibilities. If that sounds good to you and you're not so sure about the Saturn part, just hang around and see. Check out a few more of these readings or go check out Capricorn Connections, okay? I'm sitting here all crazy trying to hold that thing to block the sound. I'm not about to start this thing over. So anyways, that's how to be kind and liberal and generous with yourself. Liberal is in liberation. No more conditioning. Well, when I can, I'll do that. When then. That's how we went through school. When you perform well, you can go on to the next grade. When you finish your work, then you can go have fun. Yes, those things are there, but when you're having to put those rules and logic on yourself, it doesn't transform. Wisdom is dimensional. It's like that 4D. It is the sphere and the sphere of influence. And that begins to bring you into your true nature, but not where you hanging out inside some dead skins, where some death was sitting around you, cloaking you and shouting, ooh, it burns you into your screen. Look at that. See those pearls of wisdom? Yeah. Your personal power. We're in Dino Land, y'all. Big bugs. Big bugs around here. Big bugs. So let's get out of the things that are bugging you, because that's really the big hint that was going on here. Is there's still enough things trying to draw you down into the logic, into the systems, into let me get these things done, and then things are going to work for me. They're saying that those conditions are only being imposed by you onto where your financial breakthrough can occur, where your epiphany of miracle power occurs, where your relationships begin to relate. Really? I mean, that's the truth. I'll just have to edit this, y'all. I can't keep holding that. We'll see what the wind does. So pardon until I can purchase a microphone for this, a muffler. But letting all that squeeze the life out of you, squeeze the juice out of you, squeeze you, period. It's kind of like, get your hands off my tree. Get off my tree, get out of my property and back off. See, that's the thing about Saturn. For so long, it's been this entitlement of like, you're mine, so you do this for me. This is what I deserve, your time, your energy, your resources, your everything else. And at the end of the day, I'll let you sleep and get some rest. And I'll let you go into the dreams where I'm still programming you. Okay, y'all, there's some seriousness up in here. I'm like, whoa. But what they are here to tell us, Spirit is here to tell us, is the choice is yours. Look at the 7 of Cups. It's a very powerful one. See all the beautiful things going on in there? And we can be distracted and think, let me go for my heart, but like, go for the blessing. Because there is a cup that contains everything that you desire. All right? And when you choose life, you're choosing love. You're choosing joy. You're choosing yourself. Because whose life are you choosing? Not just the big general life or the lockdown, control, and conditioned life. Okay, that's why we don't choose conditioned love. And we step into the unconditional so that you step into your personal true life, because that is the self-control. That is the command center. That is the master control. Not controlling others and dealing with other people's energies and separating yourself from these people and that people because they don't this and that and whatever. No, it's being able to be full of your faculties and your beautiful self, enjoying this life. Navigating and moving about, not making these always and forever laws and rules and regulations all in your head. It's literally enjoying and moving in each moment, just like dance. Now, choreography is different. They repeat the same steps over and over again and come as close to possible as repeating them. But when you're a dancer and you just dance, you're feeling the music in the moment now and letting it express itself through you in the now. Because like that foss, the foss, I have to say it in the voice, the foss. They haven't come out right. It's the moment of expression now. Living in the now, and as you strike across it, it lights up like firefly and stardust and all this amazingness. And then there is no sick and tired. There isn't the taxation and the interest. Because when we step into our tomorrow, we're taxing ourselves, okay? And we reduce it down to less than half, so now we don't have the power and control over it. That's what worry, doubt, fear, all those sort of things do. When we step into the past, we got the shame, the guilt, the sorrow, the despair, those type of energies. That's where the taxation is. The interest is on the other. So when we go to the past, we're having to pay taxes on it again. And it's extracting from us and extrapolating from us. And when we pull from the future, we're getting into that waste space. We lay it desolate so that when we come, there isn't light, there isn't excitement, there is not the passion. And then we have to create motivation in these things that operate more out of force and kineticness, okay? Like the salmon swimming upstream, requiring friction or resistance in order to see anything come of it, as opposed to gliding along flawlessly. Get your glide on. We got Pegasus down there at the bottom. Oh, and the split, we got 4 of swords. And this is really a 3 of swords energy. That painful energy of trying to keep yourself protected. Nestling down, burrowing down, huddling down of how do we survive the great winter? Well, this is a winter without end. Saturn's rings are made of ice. Okay, ice and bits of rock. It's that perpetual winter. It's that siren song of the soul, of crying out and longing and longing and longing and wondering, when will it ever get to the good stuff? When will it ever be your turn? And trust me, I know your spirit. You can't be heavy and depressed and all that, because if not, you would have been swallowed up under it. So it's not like you're sitting around commiserating or complaining. Matter of fact, most of what you do is deal with people's complaints to get them to be quiet, so you don't have that in your head, right? So you don't even tolerate it in your own head. But it's being able to get to the place where you have your passion springing up, your wellspring of life jumping up, the creativity popping on that doesn't even have words, like that Capri, the goat, frolicking up the mountainside like, diddy. Ooh, look, there's a nibble over there. Ooh, feel the sunshine. Oh, I wonder what's going on around the corner. It's that playfulness, right? Ace of Swords power, and that's the victory crown. That's the liberation from karma. You see those bats flying all over the top in the clouds? That's the true dreamer, the one who dreams while he's awake. That's where Jupiter has also stepped into his Pisces, where people have been locked down in that pipe dream, or having a lockdown on their dreams that it won't come true for you, or at least not right now. And then when does now ever come? That's what they were talking about in the beginning, is how to be in the now. So let's start from there, and let's get into your truth. They're pulling up another card. Okay, strategy. Funny how everything is working out to lead, to guide you along the way. There's a compass there. Some of you may want to check out your true north, your North Star, which is your IC, or 4th house. Now, if you're not into astrology, that's okay. It doesn't matter anyway. You just follow your inkling, your soul, and your spirit. But there are those that are called to that. And so that's what's showing up here. Oh, the Knight of Pentacles. No longer a beast of burden. You're able to be about freely in the territory as you see it, living life as your natural self. That's what we were talking about here. Living from your nature. Returning to your nature, bypassing the lockdown, the shroud of death that's around you, separating you from your life. Because this is life, and this is life. Getting you into that space where the two merge. I say combine, but they merge. because this is a combination. That cosmic green is the 4D. It's like Coke bottle green. It's like the waters where I live. You get in it and it looks like a whole different color from a distance, but as you settle down in it, it's literally that cosmic green, that Coke bottle green, just like that. Teeming and full of life. When it's like that, it's like a living aquarium. An aquarium. Living aquarium that you get to get into and be a part of. All right. Any other wisdom of the strategy for Capricorn of getting in this flow with oneself? Any words of wisdom of what to watch out for, but also what to look for? This dislodged it. The Lovers, this is Scorpionic energy. Now, remind you, if you're Scorpion tuning in, no insult. We are the whole zodiac. We're talking about the houses and the places of their energy. But it can be a mind fug, a mind trick, that type of energy coming in that just keeps perpetuating the illusion. That's why it moves up through the pain and suffering, and then here's the illusion. So it's like the difference between a miracle and a mirage. Mira means to see. Okay? Do you want to see something that is, by the time you get to it, it's not actually there anymore? Dreams like the dangling carrot, that it keeps drawing you into difficulty and deeper into the desert, into more hardship, knowing that you're probably closer to that refreshment there than you are to going the other direction. Lure and trap. That's why we have that moth sitting at the top. Moths are things that lay eggs that devour what we humans eat. They devour crops. They devour like the nut crops, bagworm, moth. You have the hornworm that gets on your tomatoes, and they can devour it in 2-3 days time. But meanwhile, as they grow and they're devouring your stuff, it helps them grow bigger and keep regenerating. Okay, so we're doing away with that old fuggery, that old shizdizzery, that old being tossed about from the here to the here to the here to the here to the when to the then. That when is it my turn? Okay. Letting that take care of itself. It says, let it crucify itself. Let that take care of itself. Allow wisdom to rise. It's kind of like, don't get your hands dirty. It's like, don't participate in that anymore. Those old systems. Now that's getting kind of terse here, like a little bit like, woo, because they've been suggesting, hey, you have the choice, Please choose life. Please choose enjoyment. Please choose abundance. Please choose to be easy on yourself. And easy doesn't mean ignoring, right? Pretending it's not going on. No, it's saying begin to make these choices, and bit by bit, those little decisions help turn that Titanic. Like they say, it takes a lot to turn a big ship around. It says little increments, setting your sails with the wind to help turn the ship. What ship? That relationship, or what? The Fool. And we got 9 of Swords. Wow, it looked like 3 cards came out, but they're really only 2. Some of you have physical children that you're trying to protect your legacy, what is going to come from you, and where you may not be able to find the wherewithal in yourself because of the love of your child. And some of you, the love of your dreams, your love child, that part of you inside that's still the dreamer, and not the mirage, but the miracle, right? Ready to be beheld and seen and expressed and experienced through our senses. No pipe dreams. You're like, we ain't down with that. I know you, Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn sun, if you wonder. But that's being able to take that step forward into the peace, because the wolf is the wound. It's Chiron, if you do read your charts. Stepping forward to shatter that illusion, to shatter the perpetual winter, to allow the sun to rise and life to begin again. Things to spring forth, because the sun is a symbol of new life, of everything springing up. When they talk about the cosmic egg, that's actually what they're talking about. Woohoo! Each day, a brand new day, and you start again, and you come out of that egg, you come out of that shell, okay? You come out of that shell, that death, that sleep. Many ancient cultures talked about sleep as death. And if it is, then it took care of everything that went wrong and everything that's been going on. So take a deep breath and allow new revelations, new wisdom, wholeness to come to you. Not that fractured or conditional anymore. That's the only thing, is this daunting threat that how long is this going to go on? Will this go on forever? Is it always going to be like that? That's kind of what's got you here, trying to lay low, to conserve, to hunker down, to protect. Kind of like the mother bird did to her babies when the fire is coming, but this is ice. That's what we're talking about here, fire and ice. Tell us about this fire and ice. Anything we need to know about this fire and ice? Because either way, you're going to get burned. You ever had ice so cold touch you that it gives you what? Frostbite? It ought to be called frost burn. Because in the freezer, it's called freezer burn, right? Because that cold, that frost gets on there so deeply that it singes and it burns up the outside a lot, like radiation does when you go through cancer treatment. We'll talk about the temple path, the knowledge of yourself, and the knowledge of life, and knowing what feels living, what feels refreshing, what feels invigorating, enjoyable, energizing, those type of things without the conditions of suffering for it, paying a price for it. Of, you know, it's going to be hard today and then good tomorrow. It's like, say you were starting in a fitness program and never have, or maybe you haven't in a while. They're saying just walk 5 minutes 3 times a day. Not get out there and you start feeling whoo and pushing it, going, quit being weak. We can do this. This is our future. This is what we've decided. It won't hurt for long. They're like, no, just go down to the driveway, down around your little cul-de-sac, and back up into the house and be like, well, that was fun. And then you do it in the middle of the day and then you do it later. Guess what that's doing? It's priming the pump of your metabolism. Getting it beep, 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 beep. There we go. As opposed to boom. And then it overstretching things. And I'm not talking about your body at this point. You get me? Energy. And you begin to overextend yourself. That's like buying something when you don't have the money in the bank to pay for it. And then payment time comes around. And you're like, oh, dang, that's got huge interest. Why did I stretch myself out so far? Okay, so money and energy are very much the same picture. That's why they're talking about that here, all right? So that's what it's saying is don't overextend yourself. Take it a bite at a time, and a moment at a time. Spread it, sprinkle it throughout your day. Okay, that took forever. Are you still here with me, friend? Hallelujah. Sprinkle that goodness of life throughout your day. That is the power of flow that they are really bringing in through here. The communication of that spirit of coming out of the conditions, out of the issues, out of the difficulty. The strategy is that freedom, that flow, and the magic. A bite at a time. How do you eat a whole elephant? A bite at a time. And look at all these colors. Look at all this beauty and magnificence. That when you take hold of your dreamer, and you realize that you are one and you don't have to convince this energy and this force and whatever. No, you just begin to utilize it with wisdom, not with conservation, but with intelligence and application. You know, little touches. Like, I mean, everybody has their own idea how much frosting should be on cake, right? But very few people eat a bowl of frosting with a nub of cake. You know, get that balance that works for you, that pleases your taste buds, that pleases your senses, that causes you to think, I want to go do that again. That wasn't really hard. I've got a few minutes. I can get out there and go for a quick walk before I, get my shower. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you've been so conditioned to be put so far out through those old systems and the old Saturnian stuff that you don't even know what balance is. Because you're always in motion. And they're bringing you into this beautiful, dynamic new energy that transcends words. Fisherman coming up. So anyways, I hope all this makes sense to you and it helps you out. Let's chat in the comments down below, visual or verbal. You can talk with me down there, and also give it a thumbs up. Lift this channel up to the top, friends. Use your power to help this channel. All right, subscribe too. I'd love to have you here. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.